Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Janani. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made these easy, adorable floral earrings. This slab technique is so easy and simple to create and very versatile. To get started, I ran my background sheet of clay through the pasta machine on the third thickest setting, about 2 mm, and the other colors for the flowers in the thinnest setting. I'll be using a dot cutter from this set that I got off of Amazon to create the flowers. Like always, I'll leave all the tools and supplies in the description box. I decided to go with this cutter, which is about 2 mm. Using this cutter, I cut as many dots as I could get from the thin sheets of white and yellow clay bowls. And if a piece of clay gets stuck in, I carefully use my X-Acto knife to pull it out. To create this flower, it's going to be the most simplest thing in the world. So I simply took 5 of these white dots and arranged it in a circle. It is the simplest flower that you'll ever make, but it's still very cute. Make sure you put your favorite TV show, get a cup of coffee, tea, wine, I won't judge, anything, and just keep making these flowers. It's very therapeutic to make. If and when I have the time, I'm planning to make all the colors in the rainbow with this technique. It's gonna be so cute. And then I used a yellow clay dot to fill the middle of the flower. I put on my favorite ghost hunting show and filled out the rest of the sheet. Also, shameless little plug here, this will be available on my Etsy shop and there is currently a 15% off sale going on. Also, if you spend over $35, shipping is always free in the USA. For the empty spaces on the slab, I used a smaller dot cutter and filled the spaces out. And here's how this simple retro style slab turned out. You can stop here and start cutting out the pieces, but I went ahead and burnished and carefully rolled the slab out so the flowers are pushed and embedded in the background sheet of clay. I used my trusty fondant roller with the guides so the slab will be even. If you have depth guides, it will be even better. I did not put it through the pasta machine because I wanted to keep the shapes of the flowers. Since I used light colors and I have a dog, I used rubbing alcohol to keep the slab clean and get rid of the dog hair. Then I cut the slab out for the earring shapes. I also used some white clay to create contrasting component pieces. I had this cute flower cutter, so I used that to create some stud components to go with the slab pieces. They give me the 70s flower power retro kind of vibe. I really love it. Next, I gave a good clean to these pieces and smoothen up the edges. I baked the pieces in the oven for about an hour in 275 Fahrenheit. I like to bake my pieces on a piece of cardstock on a tile. Like always, use a thermometer and cover it with a piece of foil. When the pieces are nice and cooled down, I use my rotary tool to drill the holes and give the edges a nice clean. I will list this cordless rotary tool down in the description box along with the felt pads because so far this is the best and the most affordable rotary tool I've used. Since I had few tiny air bubbles, I wet sanded my pieces using 1000 and 2000 grit sandpaper on the surface. This gave my pieces a smooth, even finish. It's also good to get rid of any embedded pieces of lint. Now to attach my earring post, I usually use Loctite super glue and resin, but for these ones I'm using Loctite super glue and liquid clay. First, I attach the backs using super glue and let it dry for a while. If you're having trouble with the super glue, try roughing up the surface of the component before adding the post. So after the super glue was dry, I added an even layer of liquid clay around and on the whole component piece. Here's how they look like before baking. I baked these for about 20 minutes in 275 Fahrenheit. And here's how they look after. They're nice and clear. It's much more stronger and neater. Here's another slab that I worked using a flower cutter instead. It was faster, but I think the dot technique one looks much more nicer and closer together than with the cutter. What do you guys think? Which one would you try? To finish up the earrings, I added all the hardware. I like the natural matte finish of the polymer clay for these, so I left it as is. And here are the finished pieces. Again, these will be available along with many others on my Etsy shop. Make sure you take an advantage of the sale. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial helps you. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and I'll see you on the next one.